Where do ideas come from? Often, it feels random and inconsistent. Creativity and inspiration can come to me like a rainstorm, where I can hardly keep up with all of the new ideas, interrupting each other before I can write down one complete thought. But at other times, it can feel like an absolute drought. As I understand it, ideas are triggered by external sensory input and are made up of a combination of our lived experiences filtered through our own unique perception of the universe. Our subconscious recombines this information, like the memory of a waking dream. Such a mysterious and complicated process that almost feels like magic. But could this magic be harnessed? I believe that it can. By merely changing your perspective, by learning how to see, magical worlds are guaranteed to open up all around you. It can seem challenging at first. After all, the world is full of a lot of ugliness and cruelty and slop. But instead, I urge you to turn your attention to the wild places hidden all around. My gardening philosophy is pretty much the same as my creative philosophy, which is to intuitively let things alone, to grow wild, and to see what pops up, to create a fertile and experimental environment. You'd be surprised at what the birds, the rabbits, and squirrels will plant for you, and what beautiful flowers will grow all on their own, even out of the cracks in the sidewalk or along the driveway. The trick to making people perceive wildflowers as a legitimate part of the garden is to create paths and barriers around them, because people need to be prompted to see. Every year, I leave big patches of wild carrot growing in my backyard. Wild carrot is a beautiful plant, and all of this just grew here for free, all on its own. I don't even have to water it. I just get to sit back and enjoy it. The first step when you find a plant or flower that you like is to identify it. There's a very old magic to knowing something's true name. It opens up its lore. Where in the world does this plant come from? Is it edible or is it poisonous? Does it have ties to mythology? Wild carrot, for example, is also commonly known as Queen Anne's lace, because Queen Anne of England was supposedly celebrated for her needlepoint and embroidery, and the intricate flowers look like lace. There is a little red flower right in the center of it that looks like she pricked her finger while working. And the closer we look at the plant in question, the more there is to notice. Wild carrot is actually a compound flower, which means that each flower head is actually made up of clusters of hundreds of delicate tiny flowers. The more you look, the more you see. How many little flowers could possibly be contained in my whole backyard? Like stars in the sky, it would take forever to count. Every year, the wild carrot gets taller and taller. I love to sit underneath it, in a nice shady spot if I can find one, to watch it dance and sway in the warm summer breeze. They remind me of ballerinas in their tutus. When the sun hits the flowers, they give off a really nice sweet scent, almost like grape soda. Sitting down here makes me feel small and protected, like a small child hidden and safe. I can sit here, unseen by humans, and just watch all of the bugs go by and the butterflies landing for a snack. There's so much life and activity out here, and none of it is concerned with the rat race that so often steals away my energy and creativity. There's even a skunk who likes to nap inside the tall flowers. He doesn't even acknowledge me. I'm just another part of the garden. This is a place I can come without my phone to harvest ideas and recharge my creative battery. But I wasn't always lucky enough to have my own little patch of dirt. I used to have to make do with patches of wildflowers growing along ditches on my walk to Timmy's or the bus stop. But if I was present enough on my walks, it was more than enough to sustain me with creative inspiration. And all of this wild magic from a plant that many people would just rip out of their gardens, dismissing it as a weed. The trick to harvesting creative ideas from your own backyard, or anywhere else really, is about learning how to see. As children, the process of generative imagination comes so naturally, but as an adult, it's a muscle that needs regular exercise. As the saying goes, if you don't use it, you lose it. But that's easier said than done, and you might need some guidance in order to get started. I know that I often do. Find a wild place, maybe an overgrown patch in the backyard, a neglected place that you don't really look at closely. Imagine yourself shrinking down to the size of a mouse with a shrink ray. Now take a really good look at your surroundings. Instead of looking down at leaves, you are now looking up at the sky, looking up at the undersides of those same leaves. If you can't quite get down there, try switching your phone to the front-facing camera, sliding it underneath, and taking a few pictures or videos. But I do recommend that you get down on the ground to really get a sense of what I'm talking about, because it's down here that the portals will start to open. These portals will look like little pathways or doorways into fairyland, a threshold from the ordinary to the extraordinary. If you were a mouse, or the size of a mouse, where would you live? Would you build a little house in the wildflowers or behind the shed? Or maybe you would take up residence inside a broken flower pot. Is there a good spot in your backyard for an entire village of mice? It can be tempting to wait until conditions are ideal, until your surroundings are beautiful enough to inspire you. And the world is full of some absolutely breathtaking landscapes. But what if this is it? Maybe if I lived in a nicer, more fashionable neighborhood, my wildflowers might be unwelcome. I don't think we can afford to wait for conditions to be ideal in order to create. The world needs your voice and your stories as soon as possible. They don't have to be perfect. The revolutionary act of romanticizing the ordinary might be the boost of creative energy that we all so desperately need. Which is why I've decided to make a series of videos on backyard world building, and I'd love it if you followed along with me and explored the magic that might be hiding in your own backyard. I'm going to show you, through a series of simple creative exercises, how to create an entire fictional world from what already exists. This episode's homework is to replace scrolling with strolling. Take some time to find a place that inspires you, whether it's your own backyard, which is what I recommend, or a nearby park or garden, or even overgrown lot that you pass on your way to the bus stop. Take a few minutes to shrink down to mouse size and to look at it from a new point of view. In the next episode, we will be mapping out this magical world, defining its boundaries, and discovering and naming landmarks. I'm really looking forward to this. I love making maps. So until then, happy wandering, and thank you all so much for watching.